Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in day 16 of AWS series, today we are going to understand the most important and widely used service called S3. So basically S3 is a storage service which is provided by AWS. So let's understand in more detail. So basically S3 stands for simple storage service. This it is a basically object storage service which where you can store your any amount of data or any kind of data, and if you want to access that data then you need a internet access. So in end of the day, if you think like your local system hard disks or SSD, so you are going to store your data on that. Similar concept here, we have a storage solutions are in place in AWS data center where you are going to keep your data. So it is highly durable, secure, and scalable. So durability, basically AWS provides triple 9.9% of durability, means it is highly safe. Secure encryption is already in place, so your data will be secure. Scalability, like you don't need to worry about capacity of storage. You just need to store your data. It will automatically scale based on your data size. So you can take example of Google Drive or Dropbox. It is similar to S3. You store your data in buckets which act like folders. So in S3 you are not like you have created a S3 service, you cannot directly keep your data over there. You have to create a bucket. Is basically, you can take example as like folder, like in our local systems. It's kind of similar to a folder. We create a bucket. Under the bucket we will store our data. Each file you upload is called an object. So like if you are going to store file called file1.txt, so for S3 that will be an object which you are going to store in the bucket. So now understand the key characteristic of S3. So object storage. Objects are the fundamental entities stored in Amazon S3. Objects consist of object data and metadata. So the object basically, uh, in simple words, object equal to your data plus metadata. Your data is your actual file plus some metadata to uniquely identify that particular file. It doesn't organize data as a traditional file system. Instead, it stores objects in a bucket. So, like in traditional file system, like in our local system, in like we are going to store hundred of files. So it is not something like that. But because in S3, each object will have their unique identifier, unique URL to access that particular file. So here I have defined here each object consists of a data, your actual file, which is data, and metadata, key value pairs that describe the file, okay, file type, author, and etc. And a unique identifier from which your file will be uniquely identified. Like suppose in one of your application you want to fetch a single image from S3, then the particular single image will have their own unique URL which you can reference in your application and you can access it. So this service S3 is basically suitable for unstructured data like images, videos, backups, logs, and static files. So these kind of data you can store in S3. Now bucket. So bucket is a top level container in S3 where your objects are stored. So bucket is similar to a folder. Under that you are going to store your file, and each bucket name must be globally unique like a domain name. So suppose you have your AWS account and you are going to create a bucket, and but the name which you are going to give to the bucket, that should be across the globe. It should be unique. Like it is not about like in your AWS account it should be unique. It should be unique across the globe. Buckets are created in a specific AWS regions and you can access them via unique URL. So that we will see in a demonstration, so then it will be a more clear. Second, scalability, which we already discussed. So automatically scale to handle vast amount of data with zero configurations. Like you are not worrying about the hardware, anything. You are just going to store billions of objects without any performance degradation. Durability and availability. So as I told you in previous slides, S3 provides us triple sorry 11.999% durability. So data is redundantly stored across multiple devices and facilities. So suppose in case if one of the server is getting down, it's all L down, in that case also basically you can access your data because it is highly available. So in availability, AWS provide 99.99% uptime, so you can access your data from anywhere. Now there are storage classes. So basically storage classes, we need to choose like what kind of data we are going to store. Like suppose if we are going to store videos, and we have application where every day we are going to stream that particular video, so accordingly we have to choose a right storage class. So these are the storage class. We will go in a separate video in detail in each of this storage classes, but for now just want to let you know these are the storage classes which is available as part of S3 service. So the very first, S3 standard. This is basically used if you want to frequently access your data. As I told you, like if you want to stream your media, suppose you have a similar platform kind YouTube, and there you are going to, like users are going to watch your videos. In that case, every day frequently basically your video is getting a stream. In that case you can use S3 standard bucket, oh sorry, S3 standard class. And here durability you can see 99.119%, availability 99.99%, and cost is high because obviously if we are giving they are giving it this much of durability and availability, then cost definitely will be high. Then we have another key tier called S3 intelligent tiering. This is automatically moved object between classes, durability and availability same, and cost is like its cost will be vary. S3 standard IA, infrequent access, durability same, availability you can see 19 is less here, so 99.9%, and cost will be lower. S3 one zone IA, infrequent access, less critical, durability you can see we have a durability almost same in all the storage classes, but the availability you can see it's getting decreased. Like here we have 99.5% and the cost will be less. Then we have Glacier and Glacier Deep Archive. So this is generally for archival storage. Like you have lots of data, and you know, okay, I'm not going to access this data at least 2 years or 1 year. In that case, you can use a Glacier and Glacier Deep Archive storage class. So if you are using this one, then definitely the cost which you are going to pay to AWS, that will be low. So we will go in all the storage classes features in more detail in upcoming videos. Just want to give a quick overview what all the storage classes available as part of S3 service. Then let's talk about security. So it support encryptions at rest. So these are the method, or I would say protocols will be used when your data transit means like when your data move from one location to another location. In that case, these are the encryption method which will be used. And you can also enable access control, identity and access management you can enable, so you know, okay, whom you want to give access to for this particular bucket or any other buckets. So you have a control in your hand, okay, this user can access this and that user can access that. Bucket policies, then we have access control list. So these are the security policies we have, how you want to how user want to access your data and how you want to control access for that. Block public accessing setting help prevent accidental exposure. So it is recommended whenever you are going to use S3 services, do not enable for public access unless it's not required. Use private, like for that definitely you have to create your virtual private cloud, then you have to set up. So we will see everything in a demonstration in upcoming videos. Data management, versioning. So versioning is same like we have a version control system in our, like when we use any Visual Studio Code, sorry, Git repositories, Azure repos. So same concept here we have, like every changes or every object will have their own versions. Suppose you have make changes in one file 10 times, then 10 versions will be available for that particular file. Lifecycle policies, so automatically move or delete data based on ages. So you can define, okay, for this much period if I am not going to use, then data will be deleted. Cross region replication, so automatically replicate data to another region. Logging and monitoring, integrated with CloudTrail and CloudWatch. So these are the monitoring solutions available. Common use cases where you can use S3 service for static website hosting, like if you have HTML pages, CSS pages, for that purpose you can use. We will see this in a demonstration as well. Backup and restore solution, if you want to keep a backup of your application for that purpose. Big data analytics, media hosting, log storage analysis, mobile and app storage. So these are the use cases where you can use this S3 service. What all the benefits you will get? So no need to provision or manage infrastructure. So there is no headache in your mind like, okay, you have to manage this hardware, that networking. So you don't need to worry about. Pay as you go pricing, like how much you will use, that much you have to pay. High durability and security, and simple integration with other AWS services like Lambda, CloudFront, EC2, and also a lot of service can easily integrate with S3 service. So that's all for today. See you in next video. Thank you so much.